before we talk about the other program, there was a wild card thrown into things this week. Don Callis brokered the whole thing with Olivier and AEW and everything, and they did a crossover. Olivier appeared on Impact Wrestling. I did not watch this program because, as everyone knows, there is an Impact rule here at the castle since they shot and killed the guy on his wedding, or it didn't kill him. They just shot him and did a murder mystery. I will not watch Impact Wrestling. I will not validate their offensive efforts at wrestling with my credibility. However, there was a part of Impact that was kind of technically was the commercial part. So I didn't watch the show because this was a commercial on the show. But it was with Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone, the two Tonys, doing a paid advertisement for AEW that was placed in the body of Impact Wrestling. Did I describe that fairly accurately? That's the way they portrayed it.
I think so.
And they were standing up in front of the old Crockett interview set, the blue, with AEW or whatever on it. And it was a 3-minute stand-up with Tony Khan doing crossing back and forth from being kind of a heel, or maybe not a heel, just a dick, and kind of knocking Impact and putting AEW over, but not really, while Tony Schiavone stood there like he was kind of doing one of these with a fan at a convention, and he'd already done 52 of them, and he didn't really want to be there, and so he just said a word every now and then. And at one point, he mentioned that he did appeared for Impact one night and then quit the business for 18 years. But I encourage everybody to see this. It's on YouTube. Normally, I don't, promote other people's product. You got to see this, whether it's Impact or AEW or Tony Khan or whatever. You got to see this. The WWE may do silly and phony and stupid, but they don't do amateur. And this was amateur. Like I said, Tony, like he was doing a thing with a fan at a convention, and Tony Khan trying to be some type of television personality. Then Tony Schiavone said it was 25 years since he last talked to Sting. He didn't talk to him the last 6 years of WCW. What did you make of this whole thing? And that's why they could have used Don West. If Don West could have made this stand-up somewhat entertaining because, as we've mentioned, it looked like it was on the Home Shopping Network.
Well, I was very happy about the segment because, although not a gambling man, I did place a small wager with a friend of mine that Tony Khan would be an on-air character by the end of 2020. And I won that bet, which is why I took that bet, because I knew I would win that bet. I mean, this is, like you said, I know there are people who worship AEW who loved it, but I thought amateur is probably the best way to put it. Tony Khan looks ridiculous out there as the head of AEW. I think beyond the actual content, what I find stupid is the fact that as soon as they did the angle last week, where Don Callis ran away with Kenny Omega, everyone involved did interviews talking about how they set this up, how they're working together, why they're working together. And then all of a sudden we're supposed to pretend we didn't hear all that? So now it's basically, you guys know this is all an act. Play along. Nah, that's all right. I got better things to do with my life. And, I just thought it's silly. I mean, it's at this point he is playing. It's like Vince McMahon being a heel in Memphis. I finally could be a heel. Tony Khan
Except he did it well.
He did it well, but the point is it's Tony Khan being able to be a heel, and he can't do it on his own show. So he's doing it on their show, but he's an on-air character, so I want to bet.
Well, speaking of winning...
By the way, my next bet is that he's going to be sleeping with one of the women that's working for him within the next year and a half. So, well, it was a year and a half when I made the bet. By the end of 2021... The other part of the bet was he will all of a sudden find out that he's in love with one of his female wrestlers. So
Greg the Office Boy went the other way. He went with a rat in Detroit.
What?
He couldn't get any of the girls on the roster, but he broke up his first marriage over a rat in Detroit.
Are you serious?
As a heart attack.
I forgot you guys were running Detroit.
Fuck, he went to Detroit one time. It wasn't even a fucking show. They get around the business, and all of a sudden, they've never been able to get. Well, I guess Tony's probably been able to get women with his father's bank account, but guys that have never been able to get women, and they see all the shit going on around wrestling, and they've never been able to be on TV, and they see all the shit. It happens to every single one of them. Anyway,